Start with this little story because it's kind of great, and then we'll dive in. So this morning, a few of us met on the beach for the full moon lunar eclipse, which we never got to see. We were supposed to be able to see it at 5:11 apparently a.m. And actually the moon, I believe, was already below the ocean surface, and so we never got to see, but we got to meditate together, and it was quite wonderful. But as we were meditating, it was around 6 a.m. and my friend goes, "Look over here at the 60-year-old Barbie." I just started laughing. And they were this old couple. They were literally in there, they somewhere between 60 and 70, jogging down the beach, 6 a.m. In there, like he had his swim trunks on, she had a bikini on, you know, all her loose bits, but in all of her beauty. And they were jogging down the beach. And on the way back, you know, my friend kind of engaged them for a moment, and I started talking to them, and I said, "Wow, you guys, like, this is real commitment." He said, "You know, well, at this point, it's just like brushing your teeth. It's just a habit." And I said, "Well, how long are you running?" "Oh," he said, "about 6 to 7 miles a day." And I said, "Oh, wow. Okay." And then he said, "And then we swim for about an hour. And then we start our day." And I said, "Well, that's just awesome." You know, I said, I hope that I can, you know, sort of work up to that, because I'm definitely inspired at this point, you know, feeling the body, the drops and all of the bits and all of that. And it was just so inspiring, that moment of like, it was so second nature for them. Why? Not because they're more gifted than any of us, not because they are more adept, simply because they've made a commitment. They've made a commitment to going into the second, you know, part of their life with a certain level of showing up, of I want to live with vitality and with well-being and with strength and with mobility. The model that we've all been taught is one of, you know, by age 60, you're on X amount of medication and you're heading into terrible disease. That's kind of what we've all been programmed to be. When you go and research or you work with a shaman or you work with the indigenous people, you start to see that you're actually designed to be living until you're 100 years old in health and wellness, moving around, brain functioning properly. And why I'm saying this, and I'm deep in the study of Alberto Villoldo, for those of you who know him. He wrote a book called Grow a New Body, One Spirit Medicine, really bridging neuroscience medicine and shamanism. Highly, highly recommend this work, as it's really enlightening to really get clear about, wow, this is the model we've been taught. This is how we've kind of been controlled. You're going to be sick, expect it, you know, go see a doctor, even if you feel okay, just to check everything's okay, and sort of expect to not be well, you know, 60, 70, and then be in a fast decline. The first thing to aging gracefully and having our vitality and our cognitive functions available is to sever that programming. How do we sever that programming? Through studying. So getting engaged in understanding how the body works, how the body regenerates, what kind of food fuel the body, what kind of activities enliven the spirit, heal the body, keep a certain stability, right? So study, practice, commitment. So practicing those things. If you know your diet's not working for you, do some studying, get into a group or get into something where you can learn how to eat in a way that will fuel and give you vitality and energy rather than deplete you. And the third part is commitment. It takes tremendous commitment to shift gears. I mean, I'm just seeing it in my own body. I'm about to be 49. And been doing, you know, yoga for 20 years. I was a runner for 30 years. And 6 months ago, when I got here, I could no longer run just because of some damage in my legs and my ankles and my lower back. And this guy I was working with said, you can't run anymore. So that was like, wow, the one thing that I did to keep me in shape and to keep me really active was taken away. And I had to redesign a whole new way of taking care of myself. Pilates, training, muscle training, right? At some point that becomes important because we lose muscle mass. And one of the ways that the hormones can function properly and we can feel well and strong in our body is to actually build muscle. So at some point that can be really helpful. So commitment to severing that connection to the old ways of looking at our bodies and our health, and studying and enlivening ourselves with new information that is totally available on every, you know, on YouTube, in books, on Audible. I'm constantly learning and studying about these things because I'm actually fascinated by it. And it's like an exciting process. So just encouraging you, that being the first piece of this renewing of energy within ourselves so that we can follow a path that really speaks to us and that really supports us and doesn't deplete us. Because all of that talk from mainstream media about you need to do this, you need to do that, this is, you know, the way it's going to go unless you do that, is not empowering. It's completely depleting. And it tires us and it makes us question our intuition. And as women, our intuition is our greatest power. But when you add study, knowledge is wisdom. So study brings you to knowledge. Knowledge brings you to wisdom. And then you have the ability to make the right choices based on the wisdom that you've acquired through the knowledge and the study. Right, so it's a recommitment when we get into our late 40s for some of us, right? For me, it started like right there around like 46, 47. It's like, wow, it's a brand new commitment. I have to kind of start doing things a little bit differently. So commitment is committing to your self. It's to be a disciple of your own truth. Discipline, right? Commitment, discipline is really the foundation of your happiness, is to be a disciple of your own truth. If it takes 3 hours a day to activate the energy that you want to feel in vitality with, then so be it, because your whole day and your finances and your relationships are much more likely to thrive if you're in a place as a woman of well-being. When you're in well-being and you're relaxed, you attract. That's a woman's magic. She can live two ways. She can hustle and hassle, or she can relax and attract. That is the ancient Kundalini yoga teachings. And it is really something to live by. It's a process because we've been so wound up. The feminine has been so distorted and wound up for many years, and we're unraveling from that. And we're recognizing what it is to soften, to allow our intuition to guide, to relax more into our joy, to know that our joy is actually the magnet to the things that we want to experience in our life. And this is not some like new age promise here. We don't do that. You know, this is not like create your own reality with your thoughts. You have a chance here to participate in creating a reality. Your participation is needed. And what our commitment at Shakti School is to give you foundational, ancient tools from the yogic and the indigenous traditions that really work, that have been proven to work. But there's so many different components, right? You can be doing yoga all day long, but if you're not taking care of your psychological health and dealing with your past and your traumas and the pain of your past, then there's a piece missing. For the integrity of the web, the whole web has to be in integrity. So the emotional body, the physical body, the spiritual body, and the mental body. It's really a 4-pillar approach. And when we take care of the 4 pillars, then we can really have this sense of wholeness. You know, we don't use this word perfection. We don't look to a magazine lifestyle or an Instagram lifestyle to dictate, oh, this is the way I want to live. I mean, I grew up like that. I grew up brainwashed in that way, like, oh, if I can just have that, or if I can just look like this, then I'll have it all. And we all know that's a dead end for those of us who have gone down that path. So it's really about the balance, right? And creating this steady practice, life practice of taking care of all parts. So just inviting you, you know, as we go through this process today, to look into your own life and to inquire where am I lacking? Like, is my emotional health being taken care of? Do I need more physical exercise? Do I need to sweat? Sweating is a big part of being well. You should sweat at least 3 times a week. Do I need to take care of my mental health? Do I need to up my game on my spirituality? Do I need to connect more with my own infinity and with my neutral mind? It's a journey. It's really a journey of a day at a time. There's really no end prize. There's no prize at the end. Are you surprised? I'm always surprised when there's no prize at the end. I'm waiting. Just if I do this, maybe I'll get the prize. There's no prize. The moment and being fully present with whoever's in front of you is essentially the prize. That's the gift. Connection, intimacy, realness. That's the price. The prize, right? The reward, truly. So let's tune in. Let's do a little bit of breath work. I've got a lovely meditation I want to share with you. And we'll chant a little bit. And then I'm going to give you some like tangible little ancient yogic beauty secrets, which I've been, you know, having fun with for nearly 2 decades and also love to share with women. So let's rub the palms of our hands vigorously, and we'll tune in with Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Feeling the fire between the hands, placing them at the center of the chest. Acknowledging today this beautiful full moon and this eclipse, this full lunar eclipse. Always an opportunity to reset ourselves, to connect with intention, release, and newness. The astrological portals are strong, are really strong right now. And I know a lot of us have been feeling the swirl over the last few days, especially, and maybe even today. And the eclipse happened this morning, earlier this morning. And we're in the energy of the full moon and of all this beauty and this potential, essentially, right? It's a potential for 2 to 3 days, a day before the full moon, the day of, and the day after. So we're right in the middle of this potential and this opportunity to tune and align ourselves with this potential. And what does that, how do we want to use that potential? So you're taking time out of your day to be here. And maybe your journal today, definitely getting out in nature today. Connecting with yourself and connecting with others. Sit up nice and tall. And let's take a deep inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Deep inhale. Hold the breath and squeeze the root lock if you're not on your cycle. And exhale. Good. So let's do this meditation. This meditation is called Meditation for Grace. And one of the things that that's exciting in the aging process, as Tasha was saying, you know, and others were saying, is that the wisdom comes online. And the grace, you know, is part of that wisdom. It's connected to that wisdom. And why the wisdom? Because you've lived long enough to gain knowledge. The Mayans say you have until you're 51 years old to experiment with life. You have until you're 51 years old to experiment with life. At 51, you become an adult. And you can share the wisdom with your community. You can share the wisdom that you've learned from your mistakes and your experimentation with life with your community. So you basically are stepping into eldership, but they're saying you're actually stepping just into adulthood. Fascinating. When I heard that, I was at a woman's circle in Ojai a long time ago, and I heard that from a Mayan lady, and I just was floored. I was just, wow, phew, I got some years to kind of figure this out, you know? So just really rest in that, because the wisdom, if it's not already there, of course it's there because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't. It's coming. It's coming. And the more that you develop your relationship to your neutral mind and do this 4-pillar approach work, which I think many of us are doing, the more you're naturally going to settle into your wisdom and settle into who you are without having to change anything. You know, we're in this age of, you know, oh, I can look younger, I'll just get a bit of this done and a bit of that, and I'll just preserve my youth. But that takes so much energy. It takes so much energy to go through physically, and it takes so much energy to carry. So just something to consider, you know, those temptations are there everywhere. But essentially, when we can stay really connected to who we are and develop that inner radiance and that connection to, I am good as I am, I'm really good as I am, then we can really shine and be available for others, because we're not so preoccupied with ourselves. To just allow yourself to age, and the wrinkles are the stories of your victories. your wrinkles are the lines of your victories, as we wrote in Divine Woman, one of Icana's songs. And when I look at, we have a lot of elders in Shakti school, because that's really who I love to surround myself by. And when I look at these women who are just as they are, but radiate so much love and Shakti from inside, to me, they're the most beautiful women I've ever seen. And I've been all over the world, you know, hanging out with what's supposed to be beautiful. And there's nothing that matches that. There's nothing that matches a woman's spirit, which is on fire with love, with creativity, passion, and compassion. Nothing as beautiful, as attractive as that. All right, let's meditate. Sit up nice and tall. The left hand grabs the right shoulder. The right hand comes up in this vow position, and you're relaxed. And you're going to inhale through puckered lips 3 times, and then exhale through puckered lips 1 time. So watch me, it looks like this. Okay? The eyes are focused at the brow point. And as you do this, you're meditating on your own grace. Okay? We'll go for 11 minutes. Let us begin. Stay focused on the breath, looking at the brow point, just really melting into this breath, into this meditation to ignite your grace. If you need to move your legs or anything, it's okay. Just stay in the flow. Get lost in the breath. Your anchor is at your brow point. Last 3 minutes, stay focused. And now we're going to go really powerful for the last 2 minutes. Strong as you can. Last one. Inhale deeply. Hold and stretch the spine and pull the chest out. Stretch the arms up. Spread the fingers tight like steel. Hold. Exhale powerfully. Again, deep inhale. Spread the fingers tight like steel. Mula Bandha if you're not on your cycle. Squeezing the root lock. Focusing all the energy upwards, your potential. Exhale powerfully. Last one, inhale. And squeeze. And powerfully exhale. And bring your arms down and just sit with your hands in your lap, perfectly still. Enjoying the fruits of your effort. Absolutely still. Resting in your own grace. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am. Feel free to chant along this affirmation. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful. I am. Siri Waheguru Ek Onkar Satnam Siri Waheguru Ek Onkar Satnam Siri Waheguru Ek Onkar Satnam Siri Waheguru. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful I am. I am bountiful, beautiful, blissful I am. We are the generations of women and elders who will steer humanity back to its rightful place. We would not be here together in circle if we were not on the path of that, or that in our community, in our family. And our grace is the way God, the way the universe, the way Goddess, the mother, flows through a woman is as grace. As grace. So let everything we do be in grace, because that grace speaks volumes and moves mountains. And in order to touch that grace and feel connected to it, we really can rest in our own essence. We rest in that total self-acceptance of all our shortcomings, of all our defects, of all our qualities, of the path that we've walked, of the mistakes we've made. We rest in that wholesomeness of that self-acceptance of our own human journey. Because when you give permission to yourself, when you give yourself permission to be in that self-acceptance and that wholeness in all that you are, in all the different facets, then you give whoever is in front of you that permission. And that is eldership. And that is aging gracefully. I just want to share these practical, fun girl stuff, you know, that we love to share about beauty rituals, which are really these ancient yogic beauty rituals, which I have worked with over the years and I love sharing, and I think are really valuable. So the number one would be the daily practice. The early morning daily practice, there's nothing quite like it for that inner glow and for that outer glow, right? Through connecting to our own divinity and the neutral mind and working through the issues in our tissues on a daily basis, we have much more access to our own presence, right? To being present to whoever's in front of us, to be fully there in the love vibration. and we have much more access to our grace and our patience. You know, our patience as women really gets us to that grace, right? That patience. So the daily practice, you all know about it because you've been coming. A lot of you have been, you know, done the trainings, and the daily practice is really the heart of the work that we do at Shakti School. Diet is a huge, huge part of well-being. You know, at Shakti School, we're mindful because we know that, you know, many of us have dealt with food issues and potentially still dealing with food issues. That's a journey in and of itself, which I'm very familiar with. And we're very careful and mindful to not advocate a particular diet. But what we encourage you to do is to be an intuitarian. Have you ever heard that before? An intuitarian. You know, as we cycle as women, you know, we go through many different, you know, cycles in our life, right? With, you know, bleeding and not bleeding, birthing, not birthing, menopause, elderhood, and our bodies need different things. So inquire into what foods give you energy, natural energy and vitality, and what foods remove it. From an Ayurvedic perspective, from a yogic perspective, they would say after 36, a woman would be best to eat one meal a day and then do a lot of liquids. I kind of feel like the one or two meals a day is definitely how I like to roll. Mostly 2 meals, and I go through periods where I go for 1 meal, and a lot of juicing, smoothies. Primarily, always 60 to 70% of your diet, and I think most, you know, health practitioners that are in their right mind would say this, you know, wants to be fruits and vegetables. Fruits are incredibly cleansing for the liver, are very good for you. If you're worried about candida, just never eat fruit with anything else. You eat fruit by themselves an hour and a half before or after you eat anything else. So you don't eat fruit after a meal. You eat fruit alone in between meals or as a morning meal. Fruits, vegetables, 70%, you know, 60% of your plate should be vegetables, 20% carbs, 20% protein. There's other schools of theory. That's kind of like the standard health thing. But, you know, in Ayurveda is a little bit of a different thing. I don't want to get too much into diet, but the no sugar becomes another really important part of as we age, right? To maintain our physicality and our energy. So staying off any processed sugar and being mindful even with fruit sugars, right? And natural sugars. So the 1 meal a day, cleansing seasonally. You'll see as you approach seasons, a lot of people fall sick as we go through these equinoxes and solstices. A lot of people get really unwell. I feel it in my body, like I have to be really mindful as we transition to other seasons. Like I tend to like definitely go to 1 meal a day, intermittent fast a little bit, and really work with, okay, I need to take extra care in this moment, right? The solstices and the equinoxes are the 4 most powerful portals of the year. All the ancients would talk about it. And there's a time when you want to lighten up because your body and your psyche and your energy body, your light body is processing so much at that time that you don't want to give it extra to process with too much food. The other technology in yoga is moon fasting. There's a whole, I'm not, again, this is just, I'm giving you just tidbits. This is all stuff we dive deeper into our trainings, and we'll dive deeper into in Costa Rica in our level 2. Moon fasting, where you fast on the full moon, on the new moon, and on the 11th day of the new moon. Why? Because it totally resets your system. It's like the highest 3 days of the month to reset your whole glandular system and your brain, everything. So look into that. You don't have to water fast if that's too much for you. You could juice all day, or you could do blended foods. I always encourage people to just, well, maybe do one meal and do blended foods the rest of the time, right? Okay, so next would be cold showers. Yay for cold showers. In Costa Rica, it's so hot, you just don't even have a choice. You're just always sweating. So it's like a cold shower anytime. So some kind of oil before, if you have a really cold shower, we invite you to put almond oil all over your body. Give yourself a full body massage with almond oil, and then get in the shower, get in the cold shower. For it to it's called hydrotherapy. For it to Ishnan hydrotherapy, if you really want to make an impact with this cold shower, spend 5 minutes with a dry scrub brush and dry scrub your whole body. So step one, dry scrub your whole body, get all the dead skin cells off. The skin is the biggest organ, and it loves to be stimulated. Then you apply the oil, and then you get in the cold shower. Give yourself 5 minutes. If you're on your cycle, do not do cold showers, and try not to get your head wet either if you're on your cycle. That's an Ayurvedic tidbit there. But if you're not on your cycle, cold showers are incredible. One of my teachers, Guru Mukh, she's 77, I think, 76, and she is glowing. And okay, we all know she's doing her sadhana at 4 a.m. I've stayed with her, and I know she does her sadhana at 4 a.m. And she does her cold shower and her celery juice now. She's epic. I love her. Celery juice is really good too. I'm quite into that as well. Okay, so what else have we got? Stop eating after 4 p.m. And another Ayurvedic tip. You know, so if I get really hungry, and I don't do this all the time by any means, you know, I go through my cycles of this, but at night I'll just eat like a big bowl of papaya. And then it's like I sleep so well. I wake up, you know, it's like amazing bowel movements. You'll find that you can get into rhythm. You know, ideally fasting between 16 and 18 hours is absolutely the key to longevity. And, you know, it's a big fad right now. But it really is. And the yogis have been doing that forever. So let's see. The importance of nature and walking barefoot. The importance of every day being in nature, and at some point getting your feet into the earth barefoot is key. Very, very key. You are connected to the electromagnetic field of the earth. And there's something about that communication that happens when you walk barefoot. I think that's enough. Last thing, use natural products on your face, on your body, as pure and simple as you can get. We use one cream in the household between my husband, myself, and my daughter, and it's just like super simple cream. You know, it has like 4 ingredients in it. We use one soap, you know, Dr. Bronner's soap, and that's about it as beauty products. We don't do anything else. We don't use anything else. So that's, you know, that's always, and then also allowing, you know, making sure that all the products that you use in your household are completely natural, you know, from your dish liquid to your dishwashing, to your clothes liquid, to what you clean your floors with. You want all that stuff to be totally eco, because all that makes a difference, right? They're toxins and they get into the body. Okay, I think that's good enough, given you a lot of great stuff to chew on. So while you do that, before we close, I'd like to tell you real quick about our Costa Rica retreat. We have a retreat / level 2 coming up. It says level 2, but it's really open to anybody. Some previous experience with Kundalini Yoga is definitely helpful. The ones who have taken level 1 Shakti school training can get the certificate for level 2, but anybody can come. And then once you've done the level 1 training, you can also get this level 2 certificate. We have a couple of spots left, and it's just an incredible time to be together and to do this kind of deeper work of women in circle, using the technology of Kundalini yoga, mantra, using our voices. And this level 2 is really focused on the power of the voice, the confidence that lies in our ability to express our gifts, to express our authenticity. We're all so unique, and there's no comparison, right? We don't need to compare ourselves to anybody else. Like, really, where the gift is inside of us, stirring and developing our own unique gift, and then being able to eloquently share that. So this is really what this training is about. It's about helping women reconnect to the power of their voice through singing, through mantra, through dance, and how to shape and deliver their gifts in a way that can impact, you know, all those around her and the community and really humanity. I don't know if you've noticed, but women are on the rise. And women, in order for this planet, not the planet, because the planet is just fine, but in order for humanity to heal, the mother, the matriarch, has to come back into her power. As many ancient prophets have said, and as I love to remind us all, every class nearly, and the Dalai Lama said something to this effect: when the woman come back into their true power, the men will line up and the violence will stop. When women come back into their true power, the men will line up and the violence will stop. To me, there's nothing clearer than that. So I'll leave you with that today, and I'll put in the link. Click on it just so you have it. You can look at it. And if it calls to you, I've been in and out of Costa Rica and back to the US probably 3 times in the last year. And it's really no biggie. It's not a big deal. Traveling is pretty easy. I feel safe traveling. You know, Terry was part of this incredible retreat. 55 of us met at Blue Spirit, and we co-led a retreat, which was incredible. And it was the best retreat we ever had, because people are so ready. They're so raw and open and willing to shift, right? It's really a wonderful time. And we'll be gathering on the week of the summer solstice. So we'll be cleansing lightly together. We'll have this opportunity to really take a deep dive into that portal and set our intention for the next 6-month cycle, because it really works. The cycles, you know, in our own bodies and psyche work kind of like with the seasons. But there's something about meeting at solstice, both solstices, that really anchors that intent. So let's bring the hands into prayer pose. And take a deep inhale. And exhale. And let's do a long sat and a short nam. Sat nam. Thank you, dear friends, for your time, your hearts, and participating in today. We pray this was valuable for you, and now we'll gather again soon. Sending you lots of love.